Hello everyone, welcome back to F1 2020 My Team Career Mode. Today we are doing the Dutch Grand Prix. I don't actually have any footage qualifying, so you're just going to have to wait until it shows the starting grid on where we started. It's not very high.
For years, the passionate Dutch fans have been easy to find trackside at races across Europe and throughout the world. Now at long last, they have a Grand Prix to call their own. It's a warm welcome once again to all of our viewers in the Netherlands and around the globe as we get underway for the Dutch Grand Prix. A lap of this short 2.6 mile Zandvoort circuit features 14 corners, 10 to the right and 4 to the left. The main straight is 678 metres long and heads into turn 1, the Tarzan corner. With DRS down the main straight into the braking zone, that could be the best overtaking opportunity on the track. And I'm joined once again by Anthony Davidson to bring you the lowdown for today's race. Let's have a chat about McLaren. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within that team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do. And that's definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Perez, Daniel Ricciardo and Norris, Sainz, Vettel, Fernando Alonso and Lance Stroll, Gasly, Ocon, Yuki Tsunoda and Leclerc, Matsushita, Giovinazzi, Kimi Raikkonen and George Russell, James, Mazepin, Latifi and Mick Schumacher. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head to trackside for today's race.
So, we didn't do that well in qualifying. We qualified a couple, three positions away from my teammate. So not the worst, obviously. So we're on to our formation lap now to warm these tyres up. Just a one-stop strategy onto softs from these hards right at the end of the race. But this race it had some moments in it where I could get content, but most of it's not content worthy. Anyway, it is 5 red lights and away we go. Now, the best part of this race is right now. We are at the start, everyone's all bunched up. We are able to just slot behind the two Alfa Romeos, just behind our teammate as well. So we have a Haas behind us, going around the outside of both Alfa Romeos, actually going wheel to wheel with Kimi Raikkonen, and then coming down here we have a slight contact with our teammate, but it is an overtake nonetheless. And then there is Yuki Tsunoda, and we are just able to catch him lacking a bit there, so we get the free position. And that's basically all the moves that we get in this race. Like, it's lap 5 now. The order hasn't changed. I think Yuki had contact right at the start at this bit here, so he had to go in the pits. So now it's just me and Matsushita being P14 and 15. And here we are actually working together. After that slight contact earlier, I thought I'll make it up to him. Give him a little bit of a tow around these few laps, so he's always constantly within like a second. It's a sign of things to come, honestly. Check out the Italian Grand Prix right after this. It is honestly a good race. So here at lap 25 now, Matsushita, his engine gives out as well, so it's just us in the race now. So I was hoping for a safety car. I knew we had to go on softs. Still, at this point, So there was still a slight chance, and I mean slight, that we could catch Stroll and Ocon ahead of us. It doesn't happen. And so this whole race, I was kind of hoping for a safety car. Is us coming into the pits. Now this pit, here, I basically stalled the car. I ended up putting the thing in neutral. I was going down the gears. So I basically stalled the car. Something I've never done in an F1 game. But here, softs. I don't know what this camera angle is. We end up just looking at Abdu's shoulder. So lap 29, we have to give way to the two McLarens because they are the faster car. But us and Hamilton overtook us whilst we were in the pits. Didn't have to give them any room. And Max, he's had a mare off the race. Like he did really bad there. Just want to throw that in because I was pretty happy that I caught that because the car almost died. We don't want that again. But it threw me off, so I just messed up a bit on those corners. I mean, I'm not the best around this section anyway, but we are putting in some decent lap times, but we're 13 seconds ahead of Giovinazzi, and then like a whole minute behind Sainz. So we are just going to stay in this place for the rest of the race. This race was just boring while I was playing it. So I'm struggling for content here, but it was the same on F1 2020. There just isn't much racing around here. It's narrow, and it's basically always in clean air. We're at 35 now because we've been lapped. We finished the race. Fans aren't really happy with that, and Charles Leclerc actually gets driver of the day because he put in a solid performance at the start. I don't know how he did towards the end, but solid performance from him.
Yes,
I definitely agree with that.
win under their belts. Well done to the team at Mercedes. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes.
So going back to the HQ now, we actually re-signed Navarro Matsushita for the rest of the year. I was pretty happy with that teamwork we were doing, so I was in a pretty good mood with him this race. So I put him on for another half of the season. But that concludes this episode. Make sure you check out the Italian Grand Prix because it is amazing. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.